This is Talk Floor TV. We are Total Solutions Plus. We're in Savannah. I'm with Donato Pompo, ceramic, tile, and stone consultants. Donato, how you doing?
Pretty good, thank you.
You got this. I've been noticing that this show has expanded. It started out really, literally as tabletops, and it sort of has gone past that. What does that mean?
Yeah, what it is, it's really a great opportunity here. Total Solutions Plus started out where you had two different associations. You had the Ceramic Tile Distributors Association of America, tile distributors, and then you had the National Tile Contractors Association. So they were holding their separate little conferences, business conferences, and they decided to combine that effort. And obviously all the manufacturers, suppliers liked the idea because they could go to one show rather than two separate shows.
Probably their idea.
That's right. And then that was such a success. They had maybe 100 or so people, and then they got the Tile Council of North America to join, and then they got the TTCA. That's the Union Tile Contractors Association. So now we just broke the record at this conference where we had over 600 people here at this one. So that's really a huge amount of people who've participated.
Well, this is a unique show. What happens here doesn't happen at any other show, does it?
Probably what's most important here is the networking opportunity and the education. When you go to a coverings or to a surfaces, you spend most of your time in the show itself. This, we have a tabletop that really is only from 4:30 to 7:30, so you got 3 hours for one night, and that's it. The rest of the time is focused on education programs and giving everybody an opportunity to interact with each other. And so we have the tile contractors interacting with the manufacturers, interacting with the tile distributors, with the retailers. So it's really a group together that creates a lot of synergy and networking opportunities.
Now, speaking of education, you're in the education business. A lot of our listeners are floor covering retailers, many of whom have been in ceramic for a long time and probably know the business pretty well. A lot of other ones have just gotten in or are contemplating getting in, and they need to learn the business, and I guess that's where you come in.
Yes, what I've done is back in 2002, I created the University of Ceramic Tile and Stone, which is an online university. My background is I have over 17 years experience as an importer distributor, and we had multiple showrooms and we had salespeople, and so it was always a challenge to educate our employees, particularly new employees, because think about it, when a new employee comes, when they come into an industry that they're not familiar with, like ceramic, tile, and stone, it's a whole different language, vocabulary. And so everything is new to them. And then if you put them with somebody who's productive, then everything that happens with them, they've got to ask the productive person, which makes them less productive. So what I did, I put all my experience together of training, because I was also a sales manager at Latticrete International for 7 years and had a large sales force that I trained. So we created several online courses. The first was Understanding the Basics of Ceramic Tile. And this course goes through the process of first teaching how ceramic tile is manufactured, talks about the different uses of ceramic tile, talks about how it's installed and the different methods and products, and then it talks about the selection process. And this is all done with a sales emphasis, an emphasis in consultative selling. So it teaches the salesperson on how to ask open-ended questions, how to avoid false expectations, how to give the customer a choice, which is really a upsell process, because you're saying, here, we'll give you, you can have the good, the better, or the best, depending on where your price point is. Maybe spend a little bit more money in your more important rooms of your house and a little less in other rooms. But you're giving them choices. In fact, you're doing a disservice if you don't give them a choice. For instance, with ceramic tile, you have all the components of installation. Let's say for floor warming. If the client didn't know that they had a choice to put floor warming in their floor, and then after the fact they find out and know they can't have it, they wouldn't be very happy with you as a salesperson. On the other hand, if you give that customer that choice, that is an additional upsell that you can, add thousands of dollars to the sale. That's a win-win for the company and for the client.
How about picking installers? It would seem like, or just if a floor covering retailer decides, I really need to get into ceramic, I'm really losing it if I don't, I guess they need to go hire somebody who really knows the business, it would seem to me, just as the first step.
Well, yes, true enough from an installation point of view, but one of the challenges is that most installers have not had any formal education. They've learned on the job, and sometimes they've learned things that aren't consistent with our industry standards. Our industry standards are created based on a consensus group of people from the industry, which includes installers, manufacturers, engineers, chemists, everybody who's involved. And we create these standards in order to avoid reoccurring problems. So if the installers don't know what the industry standards are, they're not equipped to avoid those potential problems. So we find that most installers don't know the standards, so we created a 4-hour online course called the Tile Installer Thin Set Standards Verification course. So it's just a 4-hour course, which they can have 24/7 access, and they can come and go over a 2-week period to take the course. And it teaches them what the proper substrate requirements are per the standards, how to properly prepare that substrate for the installation, because we know that the foundation, the substrate's only as good as it's installed, or the tile that goes over it. And also it covers, how to achieve full thin set contact and how to avoid potential problems. So it's a simple 4-hour course. It's only $150, but yet they can get this information in one night and hopefully avoid potential problems.
I read so much about the shortage of trades in the construction across the board. That has to be the case in ceramic. Is it going to get worse before it gets better?
Yeah, in fact, it's gotten worse. I mean, right now, as I've surveyed the installers at this conference, everybody says they're crazy busy. And the problem is that there's a shortage of labor. When we had the economy turned down, what happened is a lot of people left the industry. And the other challenge is that it's hard to get people, young people, to come into the industry and do the labor.
The ones that left, I understand, are not coming back. They're gone. And they're never coming back. In fact, half of them probably retired.
That's right. And that's why you see right now that the industry as a whole is working together to try to bring, two things. One, bring more labor into the workforce, but also to bring up qualified labor and make sure that they understand the standards and they do the work properly. So you see Tile Council of North America, National Tile Contractors Association, everybody is pushing the qualified labor, and that revolves around training. In fact, like I tell so many, I said, you as an installer are just like any other professional, whether you're an attorney, a doctor, an accountant, you need continued education in order to keep up with the industry and to make sure that the work that you do is as good as it should be.
So I would say it's going to get worse before it gets better at this point. Even though it's worse now than it was a year or two ago, it seems like there's a lot of other trades out there as aggressive as the ceramic business is to try to bring new blood into it. It seems like it's a tough market out there.
Well, it is, but one of the things that we're seeing more of the traditional floor covering installers starting to do more tile work. For instance, I'm a consultant for Fuse Alliance Association, which is an association of commercial floor covering installers. And I'm on a retainer, and so their membership has full access to me. So when they run into problems onto a job, or if they get a specification and they aren't quite sure how to bid it or qualify it, they call me and I consult with them and giving them advice to help them prevent potential problems.
If a retailer out there is listening to us right now, and they say, you know, that's the guy I need. I need to get an education in the ceramic business. How do they get a hold of you?
Well, they can go to our website, which is www.uofcts.org, and that's the website for the University of Ceramic, Tile, and Stone. On the website, we've got video previews that they can look at, so they can see the content of the courses and get a feel of the experience, because we're using the top technology for learning education, a learning management system that's all automated. So our courses are loaded with video and animations and photos, so it's an interactive course. So they aren't stuck there, watching a 8-minute video. They're actually watching 10, 20-second videos, and they're having to interact with the course. And that interaction helps them learn and retain what they have learned.
Donato, I appreciate it. Thanks for talking with us.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. We've been talking with Donato Pompo and a ceramic, tile, and stone consultants. And this is Talk Floor TV.